guys in the choir, y'all don't see this, but every Sunday morning, about 3 or 4 minutes before time for the worship to start, I go up to the pulpit and I get everybody's attention, tell them about the visitors thing in the bulletin, and then invite everybody to enter into that attitude of worship and prayer. Yeah, I know it's only a couple of minutes, but it's better than just, running right into the worship service from everybody running like crazy. Unfortunately, I mean, that's the way I was brought up, Brother Max. When we walked into the worship service when I was a kid, you went in, you sat down, and you shut up, basically. You were there. Our society today, and you'll see some of that in a minute, that's just not what
That's what I want to say. We're different.
Yeah, the different world today. Different world today. Anybody else? Yeah, we got, as long as you need. I'll have to be at work till 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'd say in regard to tradition, when a business finds itself failing, it re-examines its traditions and changes what needs to be changed. Traditions come about in an excellent way with the highest of attitudes and things, but not all traditions will last forever. What I want to talk about, though, was mentoring. The most effective method of touching someone that I know of is touching someone. It's a personal shoulder to shoulder. I've spent time like the kite day. Does anybody in here know how to garden? There are all kinds of folks around. They're not making good money. They need, is anybody here to teach them how to till some ground and grow some groceries and stuff? Flowers, there's all sorts of things, painting classes, for everything. And they can be entered into with great effort. They're not intimidating. What is intimidating about teaching a child how to build a kite? Right? At the same time, you're acting as a mentor to that child, influencing his life at a very early age. And you can touch that child, direct his hands, etc. There's all sorts of, there's hundreds of possible things like that could be done.
In fact, when you get down to it, building the kite is only a minor part of what you're actually doing. Yeah,
That's all just means.
that's right. Anybody else? Oh.
When Tammy and I got married back in '94, our honeymoon was out in Denver, Colorado. And we went to a church out in Denver area, and we walked in, we sat down, and it came time for, I guess what you call the meet and greet. People said, would our guests stand up? Well, we stood up. And people would, the members of the church had baked loaves of bread, and they had them in bags and everything, and they had like a label with a verse of scripture on it, like I am the bread of life and all. And then they had a little calling card all about the church to give to the guests who attended that Sunday morning service. And that was a real, that impressed Tammy and I, even though I'm serving in a church and all, but we were a guest at another, that congregation went out of its way to make bread and would give to, and of course they had like a basket of loaves of bread. We could just pick whatever we wanted, but it was just, it impressed us that the congregation would go out and make a loaf of bread for the guest and, hand it out that way.
Thank you, that's a great idea. In fact, what I would suggest if we do that, on the Saturday when you bake the bread, make sure you bring a loaf to the pastor so that he can sample and be sure of the good quality that we need. So, no, it's a great idea, Brother Ken. Great idea. Great idea. Anybody else? You start to see there are hundreds, if not thousands, of ways that we can touch people's lives.
But it's timely and financially obligations too.
That's right. It requires people saying, I'm willing to do this.
We visited one last year up in Harrisburg, Virginia, that did something similar. They actually gave us a book. They gave all the visitors a book. Very nice little book.
Yeah. when we visited with our daughter, first time at Cross Point in Trustful, at the